Everyone. We are so excited today to be back. And we have the 2023 Hot 100 Leading Legends judges with us, Paige Day, Carissa Davis, and Janice Chester.
I feel like I'm on what was that game show where I had this screen or like the people in the person?
Oh, the squares.
Yeah, that's what the Hollywood Squares. Yes. What I feel like, yes.
I'm just not anybody famous, so I'm just the oddball. I'm like the random square, literally and figuratively. No. So we're here today to take all of your questions for this year's Hot 100. We are less than 1 month away. I cannot believe the deadline is November 20th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. The judges are ready to see your images. I'm going to talk about some questions I've received. They're going to talk about what they would like to see this year. And we're going to go over some of the winning images from last year. We're going to talk about the contest in general. So hit us with your comments down below. We can't see on our end who types them, but we will answer everyone's questions. Guys, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
It's crazy every year. I was explaining before we went live, last year, and I've never done this before. I don't know why I didn't do this before. Last year, I ran the numbers for last year's entries. We had 9,111 images submitted. Wow. 257 photographers entered. It came out to a 51.4% chance of winning last year's Hot 100 when you factor in the icon status. Legends, congratulations, Paige. You are now retired from the Hot
100. You're starting to compete with.
You have moved to the Hot 100 Hall of Fame with Michelle Pepe, Jamie Plack, Nikki Hufford, and Kiersey. Kilcullen, and I just screwed that up, and she'll probably smack me when she sees me on Thursday for screwing her name up. But that is like the coveted spot. The being retired, your images come back every year. You get to have fresh images in the magazine. Your badge does not have a date, so you can always market your badge. Speaking of marketing, guys, you all have won the Hot 100. How have you marketed it? Who has done something that's just been killer to market it effectively?
Well, I know like my clients always enjoy, seeing the fact that they're in a magazine. I know the parents absolutely love that. I have one client this past November who is a boy, and I don't get a whole lot of boys, but he had a killer session. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to enter him into this year's Hot 100 because his images were so good. And the mom was like inquisitive, what does that mean? I kind of explained it to her. And I will be darned, she's messaged me 3 times and says, are you going to submit Nick to the Hot 100? And I'm like, no. But I mean, I know she was just so excited to see like her son in like a publication. And I'm like, heck, I don't even know if you're going to be in it. It's like, I'm just going to put it out there and hope. But obviously I can't this year.
But actually, because I feature your images as part of
right.
He can still be in it. He just won't be a winner.
That's right. I'll have to shove him in there just for her.
Now, we did get a question, and I love this question, guys. Okay, if you know me, it's not all about unicorns and butterflies and kittens and puppies. Okay, I can take the hard questions. I can answer them because this is what we're about at Senior Style Guide: education, helping people understand. So the question is, I always have a hard time entering because I don't know how to even get featured, and I feel like that affects my chances. We put call outs in the group all the time to have your image submitted for the community spotlight. Our Instagram is difficult to be featured on. We just passed, and I haven't posted about this yet. Last week, I think I texted it to you, Carissa. We passed 1 million hashtags for Senior Style Guide. Janice has worked behind the scenes on our Instagram. Now, she is not now, because she is a judge. I have removed her from the Instagram. We've never really had the conversation, but I think you understand why you've been removed because of this, to keep it fair. But you know what it's like to go through our Instagram to find things to feature. Do you have your audio on, Janice?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay.
Sorry, I muted. visitor in the house.
So to get back to this question, it does not affect your chances. In fact, last year there were photographers who entered, some I had never even heard of. And I love that every year when there are photographers that win that I have not heard of. And that was the same scenario last year. So please do not get in your head with the conversation, I can't get featured, my work's not good enough, da 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 da. All the things, the rhetoric that goes on that we tell ourselves. We are so unkind to ourselves in our heads as creatives.
For sure.
We do have a support group on Facebook, and I'm going to link everything at the end of this live for the Hot 100. I am in it, but I am not a judge. I do not pick the images. My job is to keep the ship moving forward when it comes judging time, because sometimes we've had 12-hour Zoom calls, and it's been more than one. So do not be afraid to enter for that reason. Guys, anything you want to say on that topic, on that question? And keep the questions coming, guys, as Carissa silences her phone.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, just to piggyback on that really quickly, thinking about the contest as just completely separate. It's just a separate thing for your work, and looking at it as a whole separate entity, I think is the best way to do it. And like you said, that negative self-talk doesn't need to be involved.
Right. And I know some people get really upset at the end if their name's not on the list. I understand. I mean, obviously I can't enter it. It's my own contest. But in the past, before I had Senior Stock, I entered image contests. And I can remember thinking, oh my gosh, because I was so emotionally attached to certain images.
Yeah.
It wasn't those images. I had to go ask somebody, hey, what image should I enter? And they picked something that wasn't in my pile.
Mm-hmm.
And I won third place. I took my third win and I was like, yes, finally, this is, I was excited about it.
Sorry, my dogs are like killing my ADHD right now.
That's okay. Janice, you were starting to say something when Paige chimed in.
Yeah, I was saying, because you had said about the question about marketing, I keep it usually at like the top of my Instagram, because then they'll see it and they're like, what is that? And they'll ask about it. So that's another thing. Or pinning it to the top of your Instagram and your first three, saving it.
And I love seeing photographers make it their profile photo.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. What were you going to say, Paige? I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, no, for marketing purposes, I actually use it a lot for my team. And even like recruiting people for my team. When I do my orientation with my team, I show the magazine and I say, hey, this is the top contest in the industry. I'm going to be doing some shoots. I submit primarily from those creative shoots. So you have a chance to be, in this publication. And so everybody on my team knows what the Hot 100 is. Everybody, the moms know, and they, they're really excited about it as well, knowing that, especially because, I really do usually every year for the Hot 100, I will, just to push my creativity, I will plan a creative shoot specifically saying, okay, I'm going to do something special that's just for me, that's just creative, that I'm going to just do, knowing that I want to submit that. And I will tell the girls, hey, this is going to be for those submissions. And so it does add an extra excitement for it, for sure.
Paige, I totally agree. I think this is a great time to just push yourself outside the boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and submit ones that you feel are safe, but also throw some out there that you are just, let's just see, because I know that's what I'm looking for. We see a lot of safe images. I want to see something that's different and creative and something that's really just going to stop me in my track. So this is a perfect time to push yourself as an artist to do something different.
Well, and that's the whole reason. The first time I submitted to the Hot 100, I was actually feeling a little bit, it's kind of one of those burnt out times. I'd already been doing it a really long time. I had seen the contest a few times, wasn't sure if it was something I wanted to get involved with. And it really helped ignite that creativity, because it gave me a specific reason to go outside of the box, push myself, and have fun with creativity, knowing that this is a good avenue for that. It's like the perfect avenue for that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That is something that stands out and is going to, elevate your images in a contest like this. So, yeah.
Now, I know there are a couple standouts in the marketing as well in the past who have discussed this. Lacey Carroll at Lacey MC, if you're following on Instagram, she does acrylics of the badge.
I do too.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep.
Nikki Hufford. Nikki is a great example. Nikki probably gets tired of me talking about it, but there's several that have done this. That it entered in the past. She entered, I think, 3 times until she won. And she is now a retired Hot 100 legend. You don't give up. No means not yet. Don't get that conversation going in your head. But what she did in the past, she would get a magazine for each client because that client session and the effort they put into it helped get her to win.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, I was just curious about that. Like, how many of us have submitted and didn't win? I know the first year I ever submitted, I was so excited about my images and I didn't win. And I was, obviously disappointed, but I also used that as fuel to push me harder. Like, okay, let's look at the images that did win and why they are winning. So I can start maybe changing my thought process on how I'm doing things. So it pushed me to be where I am now versus taking that defeat and, walking away like Eeyore.
Yeah. Well, and as artists,
sometimes having
Gems, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
No, you go.
Instead of having like a trusted photographer, I think there's a delay. Sometimes having a trusted photographer friend, like kind of look at them and be like, oh, this might have been why, or, or you could maybe try this, and just kind of have somebody else look at it too. Because like you said, Vicki, you were saying that you get attached to those. There's an emotion that's involved because it's something that you created and it's your art. And then all of a sudden, like, you're like, well, why didn't they see my art as art and choose me, So.
Well, and I understand that, and it's hard. I have to sit back and watch this unfold and keep my mouth shut. And it's a hard process to watch, but I come out of that. I learned so much based on the images that are chosen just by looking at them. And they all come together beautifully and they flow. Does that mean that there are not winning images out there? Absolutely not. I have gone back to people in the past, not so much this year because I moved and life was a dumpster fire mess. But I have gone back to people in the past and said, hey, I want to feature this. I want to put it in a special issue of the magazine. I want to do this. I want to see more of your work. Something like I'll send an email. Hey, I love your work. Can we see more of this? How do we see more? This is a true contest, guys. This is a true industry contest. We have actual judges who do not get to see your name. All your images come in. They get put into an app. And they have to heart the app, the images. And then they have to go fight for them. And it gets brutal sometimes. Sometimes it gets brutal. But in the end, everybody surfaces loving everybody, and they've come up with the Hot 100. So if you're looking for, even like Janice said, get a buddy, a Hot 100 buddy. It's imperative you get somebody. Make sure they're not a yes person. Make sure that they will be real with you and explain to you kindly why you should enter X over Y and Z. I just quickly grabbed my phone and did the calculation. Last year, the average person entered 35 images. I am not asking you to enter 35 images, okay? Enter 1, enter 3, enter 10.
But with that,
That's what I did.
I was just going to say variety, because especially as artists and in a contest, I think it's so important, because it is disappointing if you don't get pictures picked or whatever, but it's subjective. It's not like running a race, right? So we're people, we have our own taste, so it doesn't mean that your photo's not beautiful. It just means that, this set of judges and with those series of photos, it wasn't selected. And so when you enter, the thing that I really learned quickly is to enter that variety, because I would have my favorites and then they wouldn't get picked. And I'd be like, wow, I think that's one of the best pictures I've ever taken. I thought that would be one that was picked. And often it's a random one, right? So I also have friends who are not photographers. I have a friend who owns an art gallery, and my kids are in the arts, and I'll have different people look at them and say, what are your favorites? And I'm usually surprised. And so I throw in a variety, and not always my favorites. And I think that ups your chances like anything else,
I think if you can choose 1 or 5 images to submit, I need to give you a high five, because I am so stinking indecisive that I'm usually the one that's like overload entry, because I'm like, but this one's good and this one's good and this one's good. And then like, I can't ever decide.
Well, and that works.
That's funny. I'm the opposite. I'm the opposite of that. I'm like 1 to 5 is what I started with. And then like the next year, I think I did 10, and I've never like done, I think, more than like 10 or 15. So
I am kind of the opposite because I'm indecisive. I'll say like, okay, I've narrowed it down to 30. I'm going to enter all of them. And I'm going to enter them.
I'm going to 35.
Well, and I also then will end up with more submissions, because that was one of the things I was going to mention today with talking with everybody, is that I do different categories, because I could have studio shots that could be editorial, or they could be in other categories. And I would agonize, which category should I put it in? And I finally think, okay, I don't want to lose sleep over this. I'm just going to submit it in all the categories I think it'll work, because I've narrowed it down, spent all this time, narrowed it down to my favorite images. And now I'm not going to, agonize and lose sleep over which category. So I will submit in several categories for, my favorite shots.
That's brilliant. It's a great strategy, because sometimes, I will hear behind the scenes, I loved this image, but I feel it's more editorial, or I feel it's more organic. I wish they would have entered in that category.
Yes, that's what kept me up. That's what would keep me up at night. Is it's like I will be just totally questioning myself if I put it in the wrong categories. So I just thought, I'm going to take that out of the equation, and I'm going to put it in the multiple categories that I think it could go in, and then it's up to the judges. So
yes, and the more images that you put out there, the better your odds, essentially.
Yeah.
I think that's where some people come from. Now, Janice, in your defense, I have seen photographers that I have never heard of enter one image and win.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like betting the farm on them.
Yeah. I think my first year I might have did the 3, because it was like you could do 3 for this amount of money. I think one year I did like 3, and then I increased it. Maybe last year I did like, I think I went up to 20. I think I maybe did 20. I don't remember. I've never gone into 30, so it's interesting to hear that. That's a good thing to
go beyond the 30s. That's just the average. Now, we did get a couple of over here. I really want to enter this time around. I just have always thought I needed to be recognized first. No, and no. If you think about, I mean, we get like 1,000 hashtags a day, at least on our Instagram. Okay, we feature 1 to 3 people a day, sometimes 5. If it's a marathon in our stories, then up to 100. But no, do not go with that mindset. Next comment. You should definitely enter. I love the cheerleading aspect of that. Way to support and be part of the community. I wish I could see your name on this. You should definitely enter. I think I've only ever been featured on the Instagram once or twice, and I have had winning images in Hot 100 3 years now. Do it. You won't regret it.
That's great.
And that's true, because just doing it, just looking at your images, make that Hot 100 folder. I tell everyone every year, make the folder, put the category folders in, and just drop. And then start looking at your images critically and think about it. Another question. Just started watching, so if it's been asked or answered, so sorry. Don't you worry. What are you all looking for when you're judging on an image? Let's talk about that. Great question.
That is a great question. I was saying earlier about having that photography buddy. Over the last several years, that photography buddy that I have, we've gone through the previous winners and kind of like gave our critiques about like, oh, this could have done that, like, so to kind of like teach ourselves how to critique our own work as well. And I'm looking specifically for people who like Carissa said, like something that's going to make you stop your scroll and something that's going to make you like, wow, I've never seen that before. So something that's different and something that's unique, and a variety. Just because you use lighting like I do doesn't mean that I'm not going to choose that as a beautiful image, because there's diversity in the way that we, all take our photos and edit our photos. So yeah, I'm just looking for unique things, just like Carissa said.
Go ahead, Paige. I've got a rant, so go ahead.
Okay.
I'm here for it.
For me, what's exciting for me is to see things that are, unique, creative, like as you were saying also, Janice, that's always exciting, right? So if you're going to shoot in the field, what is going to be different? Because most professional photographers will shoot a beautiful girl in a field in a dress, and hopefully the lighting is on point as a professional photographer. Yeah. So then what is the next step that would have it win the contest? And that's kind of how I would approach things when I was entering, is it's like, okay, this is a beautiful shot, beautiful girl. All right, so what about it, would make it different? And so I think that's helpful. But there also are those, and I guess what could be different is the simplicity, right? So that doesn't mean it has to be complex or over the top or, this really ultra creative in terms of the theme or something like that. I think it just means it's going to stand out because it's different, and simplicity is sometimes different. Classic can be different if it's done really well. So I things like that, right, are inspiring. So
I love that what you said about the field, because like everyone does the field with the pretty dress, but why can't you do a field with somebody in like an editorial like pantsuit, or like a Ralph Lauren inspired like thing or something? Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
We've got some questions before Carissa goes on her rant.
Rant.
Let me tell you what I'm looking for.
It says here, I guess they told me who the name was. Eric Marr, yes, please enter. I had never been featured before. I entered in place. That's when I started to become recognized in the community.
Yep.
Great. Again, way to cheer on and help others. I feel like there is a difference in this type of competition and like an image competition for like PPA. I think it's the same person. They say, to me, this is more of like the Insta style marketing images and all that. I don't quite know where you're going with that, but like, no, this is a photography competition, and there are lots of rules, lots of things that they're looking for. There are actual judges. It happens once a year. This isn't a buy a badge type situation like you may see out in the industry or in other industries.
Yeah, like I'm a pixel peeper. Like I'll zoom in and I'm like, oh, they could have edited that a little bit better and removed some of those flyaways, or, so yeah, it's definitely like
okay.
Photography.
First question, Vicki Black, what are the parameters for the shot this year? Okay. If you go, and I'm going to link it in here, if you go to Senior Style Guide and you click on the Hot 100, it's going to have an entire book of everything. Creativity, exposure, composition, posing, use of light, style, editing, all the things. Everything to make a well-rounded image. And we are going to go over, after we get done talking here, we are going to go back and go over last year's winners, go over just a few per category, because there are 10 categories. And before that question gets asked, I have it pulled up. The categories are backlit, urban, sports, studio, editorial, black and white, straight out of the camera. You can't do anything but flatten it as a JPEG or export it to JPEG. Organic, senior guide, photographer's choice. Photographer's choice is a great category if you don't know where to put your image. Photographer's choice is great. Oh, wait, we got more. No, Vicki, what I meant was the style of photography, not the basis that comes, just that the style of photography is a little different. Senior photographer, senior image, and class years. Am I on the right thing, Carissa? You're shaking your head no.
Well, yeah, my rant goes into that. So go ahead and finish, and then I'll rant.
Okay. The image must be of a 2021, 2022, 23, or 24 senior. That is the parameter, and it is for senior photography. Hey, Lacey. She just commented on here. Okay, now, Carissa, the floor is yours. Keep the questions coming, guys. Like I said, we want to hear it. We want to tackle it. We want to sculpt your fears. We want to help you feel comfortable.
Well, first, apologizing for my dogs who feel like they need to be on the Zoom call too. They are very social animals, clearly. Okay, so what I am looking for is obviously something different. I love to see something different. That's something that's going to maybe spark a creativity in me as well, which I think that's what we're doing as artists, is we're trying to, come up with new things that others aren't doing. So I think it's really important for me to stress this to other photographers, because I don't feel like we're hearing it enough. Like, we are artists. Our medium is photography. We use a camera to create art. We are artists. So I don't want people to forget that yes, you're a senior photographer, but you're an artist on that as well. So being an artist, I think it's really important that you are familiar with the principles of art and design. I come from an art education background, so that's something that I rely heavily on. And I think this goes back to the person that's talking about the PPA photography things. Is me personally, I'm looking for, why you're using those certain colors, why you're, do you have the leading lines? What shapes do you have in there? What kind of composition is it? Are you using the rule of thirds? So me, I'm not looking at, is it a pretty picture or is it just different? I'm actually looking for those art basics, taking it back to art basics. So when I'm going to critique your photo, I'm going to critique it from an art background, not from it's a pretty Instagram picture background. And if you're not aware, or if you're not familiar how to critique art, I'm not trying to push a class on you, but I am teaching a class online that'll be in my store hopefully next week. But that's going to take you back to Art 101 basics, about going back to the principles in art of design. And it kind of breaks down, what is the color wheel? How can we use the color wheel to make our images better? How can we use lighting to make our images better? What kind of composition can we do to make it better? So if you aren't familiar with those terms, I would suggest doing some kind of investment. It doesn't have to be my class, but do some kind of dive into that, because I know that's what I'm looking for whenever I see an image. For example, Haley's got a picture back there with a girl laying in a field of orange flowers with a yellow top. To me, that is going to stand out to me, because I know the role of color. I know why colors complement certain ways. So that's my rant. I'll try not to rant on it more, but just know that I am not just looking for a pretty picture or something that's different. I'm looking for those type of things as well.
Right.
There.
And one thing that I do get asked a lot, can I enter black and white and say senior guy? No. Black and white stays in the black and white category.
Right.
Can I enter senior guys in other, editorial or organic? Absolutely. The only thing that cannot be entered in another category is black and white. Let's see here. I'm just trying to scan through the questions real quick. Okay, we're good on that.
Can I piggyback a little bit on what Carissa just said? Just kind of another, because I agree completely. So I also have a background, so yay.
Art nerds unite.
Well, the other thing is the technical part. If you're not totally comfortable with how technically well that you shoot or whatever, I don't think you should be intimidated. Go for it, and maybe that can even give you a boost of confidence, right? Because I think all of us look at the technology different. Some of us are more art brained, some more technical brained, all of that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But I think the bare minimum, and I hate to even mention this, but things have to be in focus, right? I mean, that's going to be a bare minimum. As if we're all professional photographers and we charge for our services, then basic skill set with technical part. Yeah. And I'm self-taught with my equipment, so I totally get it. It's intimidating when you're self-taught to get up to speed and everything. So I think wherever you are on that, go for it. It could give you a boost of confidence if you've been working on that. So don't worry that everything has to be perfect to submit. But just understand, don't get upset if your image isn't chosen, but it's a little blurry, or because that's got to be a bare minimum standard, especially with the level of contest. Hot 100, I promote to my client, we're talking about marketing. I say, this is the biggest contest of the year, right? It's the biggest one in our industry. And so it's exciting to enter, but that's got to be a bare minimum standard.
You would be surprised with the judges, because on the app, they can't go totally in. They will have a list of images. They will screenshot, throw them on the screen because they don't know the name.
Mhm.
And I have to go find the name in the category, download it without them knowing who it is, throw it up there so they can see
The details.
that it is absolutely detail oriented. That is so important and just a very basic tenet. But sometimes things get overlooked in when you submit. So it's like I said, it's just important to put everything in the categories. If you think like page, you want to enter studio and editorial and photographer's choice. Copy the image and drop it in all three folders. And then you can go back and you can decide, or you can say, oh, I'm leaving it up to the judges. One important thing to note, judges are based on our community. We put a poll out. You guys decide the judges every year. Someone just replied, I'm always impressed with the winners. Thank you. I mean, it's exciting for them. And how much time the judging takes. It takes a while because you got 3 people. 2 of the 3 have to vote that image in.
See, I didn't even know that.
So behind the curtain, you're going to be fighting for an image. Not like literally fighting, but you're going to be giving solid reasons as to why this image is important and why it should be there. One thing that I do have to debunk, because it gets brought up every year, misinformed, spread around. If someone wins icon status, that means that their name showed up on the list 3 times minimum. When that happens, a line goes through their name. They get moved from a Hot 100 winner to an icon status winner. That means that those 3 seats are now silent for 3 more photographers to take them. So imagine, if you can, the judges are going through all these images. It is like a big Tetris board. If someone gets added into one category and they're down below, they get bumped out, and then the spaces open up, and then they got to go back into those categories and talk and figure out who's going to go where. So if someone gets icon status, they have not taken a thing from you. They have appeared 3 times or more. Their image has gone silent. If their spots have gone silent and brought 3 more people to the forefront. So they have elevated 3 other photographers as a result. If they get photography influencer, that means 5 times their name has come up. Lines go through it. If you go back and look at the past winners' announcement, you'll see lines through their name. That means that 5 more people get to come forward. Hot 100 legend, Paige, you achieved that last year. 10 spots. 10 more photographers got to come forward. So that's how we had 257 photographers enter and had a 51.4% chance at that point. And that's also, we haven't even got to Community Choice Award winners, but we are having 100 of those this year. And for those that are new to the Hot 100, once the judges have made their selection and they're done, then the app gets repopulated for the community. A link goes in Senior Style Guide. You judge like the judges. You can judge every day for a week up to 25 times. So 25 images you can pick every day for a week. And you would be surprised the feedback we get. Oh my God, this was so hard. Oh my God, how did they do this?
Welcome to our life.
It's just a little peek behind the curtain, but you didn't have to fight anybody for those images. And what I love, I see you twitching. You're okay, Carissa. Each year, there is carryover from the Hot 100 winners to the Community Choice winners. There will be images that are selected by the community that the judges picked, and I love seeing it. I love seeing it through the judges' eyes. I love seeing it through the community's eyes. Let's see here. I'm trying to look at all the details on the blog post real quick. Okay, I think I've covered everything there. I've posted the link in the questions, guys, and keep your questions coming. We want to hear your questions. I'm going to go and I'm going to screen share
Page after page after page.
And then I'm going to scroll quickly. We're going to pick a category. I'm going to just like spin it, stop, and we're going to talk, okay?
Sounds great.
So it's going to be totally random. Other than Carissa, have either of the two of you entered and not won in the past?
Oh, I'm just me.
No, there's lots of industry leaders, Carissa, that have not won the first time around, second time, third time around, but have won. Janice or Paige, have either of you not won?
I think I did not win one year. I think it was my second year. So the first time I entered, and I only entered like 5 photos, timidly. And then I was stunned and excited that one of them won in the editorial category. And so then the following year, I was like more excited about it. And then I didn't get an image picked. And I thought, and that's where that keeping in mind that it's subjective, right? And you can't then just say, oh my gosh, I must have gotten worse this year, or so you just have to
blocking them. I'm going to badmouth them. I'm never going to enter again.
Yeah.
You picked yourself up.
Yeah.
I myself when I'm mad, 24 hours to wallow in it.
Yeah.
And then I act on it.
Yep.
Well, it's like what you tell your kids, right? My daughter's a dancer. She would go and compete, and it's a subjective.
I think there was one.
Oops, Janice, are you talking?
She's stuck.
Sorry, I have a bad connection. I'm sorry. What did you?
No, what were you saying?
It's okay.
I think she was saying, because I think she picked up on it earlier, that she submitted once maybe and didn't make it. I don't remember, but anyways. Same thing.
I was saying I have a really bad connection, but I was getting ready. Did you ask the question, Vicki, about, you said, was there any of you that submitted and didn't get
Yes.
chosen? Is that what you said?
You froze again, Janice. Have you entered, Janice, and not won? That's the question. She's thinking about it.
I think the answer is yes.
Okay, I'm going to make a terrible attempt to screen share. Everybody on the line.
My connection is really like delayed. Like you guys keep going like really like slow, and I think yes, 1 year. Yes, 1 year.
You came back and you.
But like I said, I only submitted like less than 10 images, so it wasn't very many. So
might have been your mistake. No, I'm just joking.
No.
Okay, I'm going to try to screen share, guys. Hold on. Share my screen. Entire screen. Do not judge based on how many folders and apps and everything.
Whoa!
On my screen. Hold on, guys. Okay. Can you see the magazine?
Yes.
Okay, Kiersey got the cover last year. She was a judge. Let me just, okay, so we're going to start. The category is going to be backlit. So I'm going to spin it and we're stopping here.
Which one? Either one?
Either one.
Okay. So I am, obviously the one on the left, gorgeous lighting, gorgeous. She's a beautiful girl. But the one on the right, for me, kind of stands out a little bit more, only because I'm looking at the orange and green. Again, that orange is complementary of green, so it's going to make her pop out more. I do like how the one on the left is giving like particular angles. It's kind of forming a triangle. Your head is obvious, or your face is, your eyes are drawn to her face, down to the left-hand corner, back up and to the right. So it's kind of encouraging you to read the whole image, and then the grass behind her is giving a different texture versus the softness of her hair.
Right, there's lots of triangles in that image,
Mhm.
which is great.
Mhm.
Okay, you guys ready for me to spin the wheel for the next person? Okay, we stopped here.
I'll let someone take this one. I won't override the conversation.
I don't know if I want to respond because I think I might still have a delay. Do I have a delay still?
No, you're good now.
Okay, it was like for 10 minutes of the conversation, everything was in slow motion. I'm so sorry. Do you want me to critique? Oh, okay.
Sure. Tell us what you love about this image, because it won the battle. I mean, these images.
Which one, the left or the right?
Either one. What stands out to you that will be helpful to someone entering the contest? Because these images are Hot 100 worthy images.
I love the one that on the left because there's a lot of expression and she's smiling and she's happy and it's kind of like a unique pose and it's in the moment. The one on the right is a little more portrait. It's just perfect and beautiful, and I like the light coming through and it's on her hair, so she's standing out from the image. So yeah, that would be my thoughts about both of them.
Okay, we're going to spin the wheel again in split. Oh, it looks like we stopped on this one.
Go ahead, Paige. We'll let you take over that one.
Get it, girl.
I love how she had to put her readers on.
I know, I'm trying to like yeah, well, I love the beautiful backlighting, of course, is gorgeous on her hair. The rim lighting across her shoulders is really beautiful. Love the pose, is great. Also love how comfortable she looks in that pose. And the composition, the way it's cropped, looks really nice. Again, triangles, right? We all know about looking for triangles. So that's done really beautifully. So yeah, all around a great shot. Love the lighting in particular. Sometimes it's hard when you have the heavy backlighting like that, not to have too much orange on the photo. And so I think they did a really great job with their color tones and everything.
Okay, we're going to spin the wheel again. The next category is black and white. You ready? I'm just basically just tapping the mouse and letting it go.
This is fun.
Okay, we stop here.
Ooh, I want to talk about this one, can I? Even though I just talked?
Absolutely.
I absolutely love the image on the left. Love that image. You talk about kind of something that stands out and originality because it's not zoomed in real close with that beautiful, the beautiful cropped face. It's all about the composition. I love everything about this. The angles, looking through the door, the perspective, the way the floor has the squares and mimics the rectangles against the wall and those shapes. All the angles in there are just beautiful, and her pose is very cool with the albums on the floor. So I love the whole vibe. The composition is really stunning. I just love everything about it. Really.
Yeah, I love the leading lines of the windows.
Mm-hmm.
I love that foreground, background depth that we're getting and the repeating patterns of that tile floor. Good tones.
Yeah. Beautiful shot. Both are beautiful, by the way. Both shots are beautiful. But that's a good example of something that really stands out because sometimes I think people think if they do a full body shot that it's not going to get the attention or have the impact. And this is a great example of how the opposite is true because there aren't a lot of full body shots that are composed this way. So.
Yeah, I love the door because it's like, oh, I'm walking in and I see this.
Yeah.
And I've seen this location before, which is an amazing location, but never like that.
Well, and I just have to talk about the image on the right for a second. Am I the only one that feels like I could reach out and touch the snow? Like it is so crisp.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
The contrast. Yeah.
And the wind.
Her hair is beautiful. Yeah.
Okay. And we're here.
Want me to take it?
Whoever.
All right, so I'm drawn to both of them, but the one on the left really speaks to me because you've got that negative space, and then her hair is creating that texture. So like, I don't know, you're really drawn into those eyes because of the negative space and just the composition wise. I feel like it's telling a story, like you're in the moment with her, which always is something that I'm drawn to, is the storytelling side. I'm not necessarily great at storytelling myself personally. So whenever I see kind of an image that's drawing me into that moment, it does kind of stand out a little bit more to me. The way that her hair is blowing, I feel like that helps you be in the moment with her.
Yeah.
And the other one with her hand on her head, it kind of draws your face to her eye, your attention to her eyes too. Her eyes and her lips are just perfect.
I want her
And
lips.
Her hand up there, kind of, yeah, I know. Look at those lips, and her hand up there just kind of makes it draws your eye up that way too, and then you just go down through the image from there.
I have a trade out with somebody who owes me some injections, and that makes me want to get my injections. Maybe I'll come to Push with some big lips.
Hey, girl.
The next one are editorial images. So I'm going to just spin, and we stopped here.
Okay, well, so the one on the right is mine. So
I know she just passed mine too, and I was like, oh wait, don't stop there.
I'll let someone else take it.
Do you want to do it again since it's Carissa's?
I mean, I can tell you why I entered this one.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Okay. So this was one of those times that I wanted to shoot for me. It was my busy season and I was feeling super duper burnt out. So I've talked to Vicki about this before, but I have this subscription to Newly. It is a clothing rental company. So whenever I get into these ruts of where I want to do something for me, I'll find something really fun Newly and try to piece together a cool outfit. So this was at my neighbor's property and I loved the texture of the grass. I felt like it gave just, I don't know, just a unique crunchiness to it. And then I knew I wanted to do either full sun or I wanted to use my light because her outfit had a lot of oranges in it and oranges complement blues too. So I wanted to bring both of those aspects into it. And now Vicki's got me ADHD distracted again. So I don't even remember what I was talking about. But that's why I submitted it.
Yeah, it's got great texture. Really beautiful shot with all the texture.
And it's that perfect example of what we talked about with the field.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't have to do a girl in a dress.
Right.
So that's a perfect example.
Yeah.
And the girl on the left is just stunning.
Yeah. And very cool makeup.
Yeah.
So
And
makeup is different.
Okay, you ready to spin the wheel
I
again?
like the
Okay. I'm going to go down instead of up.
I'll start if you don't mind. I love the shot on the right's composition. Again, I just love, I think that's the thing that really stands out. Also, of course, the cool styling. So very cool styling, very cool composition, very unique location. Once you look in and you see she's in like a 7-Eleven or a Target cold box area. And so, you know, everything is kind of alluring. Her expression, I think that's a really great example of a shot that stops you because of that interesting composition and cropping that they did with the negative space on the left and the subject in the right and in the foreground, taking up that whole foreground with the
corduroy, the styling.
Yeah. Oh, the styling is fabulous too. Yeah, absolutely. The colors, right? The orange sunglasses with the rust coveralls and the black and white. So yeah, very cool shot. And the one on the left is also lovely, but I'll let someone else talk about that one too. Yeah, they're both gorgeous shots.
Anybody have anything for the one on the left?
Go ahead, Janice. I feel like I talk all the time.
Do not silence yourself, Carissa. Go. I love Carissa, so I can pick on her a little bit.
Well, I don't know
talk
if
too
I'm delayed or not again. My computer's delaying again.
Oh, no.
I'm so sorry. Am I still delayed?
No, you're not.
You're good to go.
Because I didn't hear everything that she was saying. It was going in and out. I think she said something about the texture of the corduroy with I like the sheer with the corduroy and the styling. Did we talk about the one on the left?
No, we were wanting you to do it.
Oh, okay. I like the one on the left. I like that kind of collapse. I've seen a lot of images with suitcases, which is fine and they're cute and they're unique, but I love how they matched with a little bit more of an editorial vibe. And they put her leg is kind of like collapsed. Her left leg is kind of collapsed in, and her arm kind of hanging down. Instead of it being cozy, it's just kind of like, hey, I'm sitting here, in an editorial pose, kind of more relaxed and waiting for my car that broke down or something by the side of the road, and it kind of tells a
My
little bit of a story.
chauffeur.
And you kind of and I love the big bow. Hope her car didn't break down, but I like
Awesome.
it.
Okay,
I like vintage, so it connects with me.
We're still an editorial. Then we're going to a new category after this set, guys.
So I know the one on the right is Tiffany's because she had this cute little model all year long, and I was so jealous. I love this little Western situation we got here. So we've got movement in the French, we've got like that foreground with the trees, and then we've got the same kind of hues, which is again going on that color wheel. So I don't feel like the image would be as impactful if he had like a bright hot pink shirt on, but because it's that soft pink and the soft sky and then the soft green, it just complements each other so well. I love that image. And then of course you've got the triangles leading you to the subject's face. It's great.
What about the one on the left, guys?
She's so cute.
I know.
I love these images. I actually featured both of these images on Senior Style Guide, so obviously I loved them too. The one on the left, like I like the tone, the color toning in it. I like that it kind of has like
Janice?
Take a page.
and a little slip. It's just
Okay.
I love it. And the light.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Oh, what category?
Am I
are we
still
in?
delayed, by the way?
Sure.
Because it keeps
In and
going
out.
in and out.
In and out.
We're in sports, guys.
Ooh, fun. Is anybody going to go? Okay, I'll go.
I
So I
can't
love the
swear
one
that I'm
on.
going to be delayed.
See, this is me feeling like I'm over talking. The left, love. I feel like I'm there. Like, I feel like he's charging at me with a basketball right now. I know nothing about sports, but I know I'm super intimidated by him coming at me right now. I love the lighting on this composition, like how certain things are dark, but the important things are lit. I feel like it really does tell a story. And with that smoke in the back, it's just giving that extra like texture and like depth. I don't know. I'm scared. I don't want to play against him. I know that.
Okay, what about the one on the right? Anybody have thoughts they want to share?
I don't want to face him on the basketball court.
Paige, that leaves you.
Okay. Yeah, no, this one, again, the color tones are great. I love the blues, like the blue of the sky is carried into the outfit that he's got on with his denim. And the pose is great. I love that his glove is forward, so that helps get into the shot. And I like that. Oh boy, I thought I turned that off. Sorry, guys. I especially love that they chose to do, and I like this with guys in particular, where it's got a higher amount of clarity for the detail and the sharpness. So that's bumped up, so it gives him a little bit more texture, a little more grit looking with that edit. So looks great.
Awesome. Okay, we are in the sports category. We spin the wheel. And it looks like we're right here.
Is it my turn?
It's Dawn's turn.
Yeah, my dogs are barking like crazy, so you all can have a turn.
I just want to plug in. Sorry. I like both images because one's indoor and one's outdoor, but they're both basketball. I like the red light behind her, and again, the smoke is pretty cool. And I like that the balls are in different spots where the ball is closer to the camera for sure, and there's good lighting on her face. And then the one on the left, I always think their shots are so cool. I would probably fall, but I love the blue tone in the sky. I like the aqua with the orangish red.
Yeah, I love the shapes. Obviously we've got circles, but that one on the right with all of the circles, you know, it's almost leading your eye to her with those shapes. And then of course you've got the other shapes of the triangle. But this is also something I talk about too, is, you know, triangles aren't the only shapes that our brains are associated with that are drawn to. She's almost making like a figure 4, which is a unique shape that you don't see often. Obviously we see triangles a lot, but you know, other shapes kind of spark my interest a little bit more too.
Awesome. Okay, guys, we're going to scroll. Oh, what category are we in? Organic. Okay. So it looks like we're stopped right here.
My dogs are still barking, so I'm going to let someone else take this. This is why I need doors, y'all.
Okay.
Well, at least yours isn't delaying like mine. I don't know what the heck is going on.
Okay, guys, Paige and Janice, you guys are up.
Okay. I like the one on the left because it definitely is one of those scroll stoppers. It's like, oh, I've seen some of the mirror shots, but like you see the girl standing there, and actually the pose that she's holding the mirror in is different than the pose on the mirror, which is pretty cool and unique.
Yeah, it's a really difficult shot to achieve. So, I mean, that's something that's going to draw me in too.
Yeah.
Okay. Thoughts on the right?
Yeah. Is it two different people or is it the same person?
I don't know. They leave you wondering. That's what I love about it. And again, we're going through last year's winners to give people an idea of, to spark their creativity to say, oh, I want to submit this image from this session because it feels like that vibe, like the organic vibe or the backlit or the sports or the editorial. Anybody have thoughts on the right?
Well, I love the tones of the shot. Of course, the composition's cool with the flower, you know, on the left and the face on the right, side by side like that. You're just seeing the one eye, which is really cool. But I also like that they pulled in the kind of those warm yellow tones from the petals into her skin, and at least on my monitor. Yeah, and so I like the tones of the shot really, and the eye contact, which is so important with a shot like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's a good use of the rule of thirds, you know, bringing that eye into that third section. These are beautiful. Oh, those are gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
I love both. I mean, they're both just stunning. I've wanted to do that type of shoot on the left for so long. But what's drawing me in is the color tones are all the same. You know, you've kind of got that pastel-y or like monochromatic kind of thing going on. That texture of her dress just kind of against like the softness of the water, you know, it just is very different. But then you've got like these pops of flowers that are just kind of like little music notes around her, just kind of like a cute little pattern. Stunning. But then the one on the right, I mean, kind of the same idea. You still have those purple monochromatic hues, but and still got the pops of like pattern around her and the texture around her face, but in a different, completely different point of view. I love that it's turned upside down. It would not be as impactful if it was turned right side up. So I'm loving the composition. It's definitely like drawing your attention in, but makes you want to read around the whole image, especially with the way with like her braids are kind of making you read the whole image as a whole instead of just one single place.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Oh, there we stopped here.
These are beautiful too. They really chose some stunning images.
Yeah, for sure.
It was 3 Zoom last year. It was crazy. Thoughts on left
I
or
like
right?
the movement and the movement in the one on the right. I love that she's like mid twirl and she just looks like she's having like a ton of fun, and all the green tones, and she just looks really happy, and it just looks like a really sunny like California, or I'm not sure where it was, kind of shot. But yeah, I really love that one.
Yeah, and a unique use of leading lines here. You've got the lines obviously with the palm trees, but also down into the sidewalk, so you can't help but look at her.
Okay. And on the left?
Let Paige get her readers on.
Well, it's tiny eyes. It's like barely above the Post-it. So I'm
You're
trying.
aging yourself, honey.
Okay. The one on the left, and again, because it's so tiny on my screen, I love the triangles. I love the use of her arms. The mimic of the one arm that's up and the one arm that's across her chest is really beautiful. I love how relaxed she looks, because that's not always easy to do with one of those shots where they're laying in the field and it seems glamorous, but it's challenging for the model to lay very comfortably. And again, the tones are really beautiful.
Perfect. Okay.
I love that the armpit is hidden. I hate looking at armpits.
I was gonna say that too. I love her hair covered.
Okay, we are on photographer's choice. So we're here.
So cute.
I mean, they're both beautiful. I love the one on the right, only because I'm just a huge Volkswagen fan. But I do like how the composition is done. Like, she's not right in the middle. That would have been easily to achieve, just putting the subject right in the middle, but she's not. It's more impactful that she's off to the side. So you can see that she is, on this van on the side of the road. Like, what's her story? Where is she going? Did she break down? Is she about to go hiking in this field? I love something that's creating a story for me. The hues are all the same. So we've all kind of got the same tone. We don't have like the Volkswagen van being this bright color. It's definitely muted, just like her outfit. Impeccably styled. I love that the blue sky is also complementing that as well.
Okay. And on the left?
And it's kind of the same vibe that you're talking about on the right in terms of the hues. And I'm sorry, Janice, the delay. Go ahead. You go ahead. Yeah. Okay. I guess so. So the one on the left, I love that it's got that vintagey
No,
edit.
it's okay.
Oopsie. Oh, sorry, Janice.
Yes, I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not your fault. It's the delay and the Wi-Fi, whatever's going on. Oh, yeah.
Well, my 15-year-old grandma dog is over here barking at the ceiling, so I'm just muting constantly.
Okay, Paige, what were you
And
saying?
I keep getting this little notification.
Go ahead, Janice.
And I keep getting this little pop-up notification that my stream isn't going. I need troubleshooting, and I'm like, great. No, I was just talking about I love her curly hair and the look on her face, and like all of like the same tones in the book as the background and her outfit, and she's just, I don't know, just looks really peaceful, and I don't know, I like the vintage look of it too.
Okay. And here we are.
I have a lot to say, but all my dogs are barking.
Well, I was just going to comment, one of the first things that stands out with this being pulled up is the image on the right looks like piano keys to me. I don't know if that does for anyone else, and that's intriguing and cool. And the black and white with the stairs really is great with those pants, with that pop of color. So the whole color story is very cool and attention getting. And so then, of course, her pose is relaxed and cool as well. So for me, this one, the color story is great, and love the piano keys stairs. Looks great.
Okay, anyone for the one on the left before we scroll on?
I love that the baby's breath is like adding that cool texture like near her face. So it's definitely like a complementary of like the smoothness of her hair and the smoothness of the background, the softness of her skin. And then you've got like this little soft, fluttery baby's breath near her face. I think that was a great addition to that picture. That could have been very basic, almost boring, but because you added that baby's breath, it made it a lot more interesting.
And also that she decided to crop it. It very easily could have been a really beautiful tight crop. And so again, I liked her choice of leaving it where you can see her full body and her body pose with the composition of it is great too.
Absolutely. Okay. Looks like we're here.
Okay, you're gonna laugh. I'm gonna be known as the grandma with the reader glasses.
Janice, do you want to go since you
I'm so afraid to go because I'm so delayed and you guys keep slowing down, so I don't know if I'm slowed down.
I think you're good right now.
I hope so, because I don't know what else to do. I thought about disconnecting and connecting to my phone hotspot. I love the location of the one on the left. It looks like a vintage, like an old train station. And she just looks like she's having fun. The little pop of the blue shoe, and the leading lines, of course, as well. And I like the one on the. I think the one on the right is like kind of like a unique thing because the way she's posed and the triangles towards her face draw you to her face. But you can see like the red in her dress kind of goes with like the little bit of red that's whatever she's laying on. I'm not sure what she's laying on. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Awesome. I'm going to scroll. Okay.
Paige, is that you on the right?
Right. Page on what you did and say why I entered that one.
Yeah, you should. But I mean, the monochromatic love, and I love the pose in this. Like, I don't know what prompt you told her to do, but super cute. I also love the expression on the one on the left, like especially with their turtleneck. It's just kind of a fun quirkiness, but like you get that black and white feel, but it's not a black and white picture, you know, so that negative to positive space of that fun expression is super cute. I love both of those images. I think I can easily see why both of those were chosen.
Cute.
Okay, here we go.
I'd have broken my ankle if it was the cute one on the right.
We're into the next category, which is senior guy, and we stopped on that image.
I love his styling.
I was going to say that.
Outfit, or if the photographer did, but the styling is, love it.
Absolutely.
It really is, again, a good composition. That line's going to lead you right to him. But the pattern mixture of like the plaid versus the flowers, I mean, gorgeous. Whoever styled this guy, or if he styled it, he needs to get a job in styling. That is beautiful.
Okay, guys, we're going to scroll again, and we're stopped here.
I love the way that the one on the left draws you in because of the I guess it looks like maybe metal stairs. I'm not sure in the front, and you're just drawn right to him with those but there's enough light on him that he like stands out. And the guy on the right is way too cool. Like, I don't think I ever was that cool when I was in high school, but I like the purples and the reds. They kind of contrast each other.
I love how the one on the left, like you're walking by and it's like you kind of glimpse out of the like corner of your eye, like, oh, that was a cute guy. And you kind of go back and you're like looking through something with this cute guy. But yeah, it's kind of giving you like a chance to be in that moment too.
Yeah.
Thing.
Oh, wait, what just happened? We are in what category? We are in urban. We're going to stop here.
And can I just say, urban's a hard one because a lot of us, I think urban and backlit, I know they kind of get flooded. So that's also something to think about when submitting images. Is urban's a hard one. I think I've only won once or twice in urban, and I shoot in urban a lot.
Well, and something that I tell everyone every year, these are the categories that get the fewest entries: studio, photographer's choice, senior guys, things like that. And, I'm like, guys, come on. Let's enter in these. They get the fewest entries. Organic, backlit, urban get the most.
Yeah, if you want to up your chances, go into those smaller categories.
Absolutely, but also aim for each category, to put something in each category, because that also ups your odds the more that you're in. Okay, left and right. Thoughts, guys?
I was letting Paige put on her glasses in case she wanted to take this one.
Yes. So the picture on the left, I really think the choice of editing on that with those tones is really unexpected, because usually with urban, it's, people go for that bold color, or so I really love the feel of the tones of that. And of course, the movement of her hair is really beautiful. And then of course, she's got using triangles as well with her pose, and same with the girl on the right. Similar poses, which is kind of fun to have them side by side like that, but very different vibes. Yeah, but both girls are very cool and relaxed in their posing. Love the star skirt with the red, and then the red writing on the wall. I think that's really well composed.
Oh, Hot 100 Legends. You can see here's Nikki's with her images. Every year we feature the legends. Here's Kiersey. And then our judges from last year. We had Susan Gieka from Susan Grace Photography. We always feature our judges' images. Mari Kranz, and Kiersey, again, was a judge. So she got a double feature that year. And let me stop my screen sharing and go back to us. Okay.
Question.
Oh, wait, someone said they wanted to see some studio examples. Did we not have studio examples in there?
There was a couple, but I don't think they were in the studio category. There was like a couple with the girl with the baby's breath. That was a studio.
Okay,
a couple other ones, but not. I don't think the category.
I'll go to studio while you guys are. You said you had a question, Janice. Yeah, studio was when we had Paige and.
I think.
No, I was just saying.
Let me just quickly share my screen and go to studio for you guys to help out here. Okay, so here's studio. Can you guys see this? Carissa, Paige, Janice, can you see the screen?
Yep, got to put my glasses on again. Yeah, I can see it.
Here are some examples of the studio winning images for whoever asked that question.
Oh, there's me. Oh, yep. There's me again.
There's me, and there's me. Even if you just scrolling through, Vicki, it's kind of fun. Like if people have the magazine, looking at things quickly helps too, right? Because as you're looking through, you see what stops you, right? Because even when you were doing that, there were things that popped out, and grabbed attention. So that's kind of a good way to review and see what stands out is what stops you as you're looking through something fairly quickly, and that can help.
Exactly. And to recap, I'm going to just pull up okay, guys, for those of you at home who are gaming it out, straight out of camera, Very few images every year. People don't want to share them straight out of cameras.
Mhm.
Odds are high in that one. Senior guy, photographer's choice, and studio. Those are in black and white. Those are the ones. Okay, good question. If sports is done in studio, do I submit as one or the other?
I vote both.
No.
If you do my philosophy, I would do both. Sure.
Now, with that comes a problem because there is, when you submit the same image twice, that counts as 2 submissions. So
Right.
keep that in mind.
You're paying for it twice.
So if he wants you to, Carissa, if there is a category for potatoes this year. For those of you who don't know, Sean's cat and potatoes is adorable.
Sean, don't make me go get my taco cat out.
Yeah, and guys, one year we had a lot of horse images submitted, and they were. Don't be afraid to submit your client with their animals too, because you don't know what's going to happen. So to recap,
Clearly, I love animals.
we all do. Hot 100 this year, November 20th, 11:59 p.m. Eastern. Starting Monday, I'm going to be reminding people to the point that you're going to hate me. Okay? So do not hate me. This happens once a year. Make your Hot 100 folder this weekend. Inside the folder, put each of the 10 categories. I put the link to all the info below in the comments in this talk. It's under Vicki Black. Put your images in the folders. If you have questions, join the Hot 100 support group. I will put a link to join in this video. So people watching it on the replay, people here today, do it. Ask questions. There are no bad questions, okay? This is a contest. There will be winners, and unfortunately, as a result, it is a contest. There will be losers. We are not the place that is going to take all your images that you submit and make you all winners, okay? The point of a contest is to elevate images. Does that mean your images are bad if you do not win? No. Okay, it is a contest. Anybody have questions about the fact that it's a contest?
No, but don't be mad at me if you don't get it. Please don't be mad at me.
Nobody is mad at the judges. They come at me hard sometimes in the messages, in other groups, in private messages. I'll get screenshots. It's okay. I understand. It's an emotionally charged contest because it is a contest. Questions about categories. If anybody wants to ask questions about categories, questions about entering, ask. Feel free to reach out to me. My number is on the website. You can DM me. You can message me. You can email me. You can't contact the judges. The judges will not answer your questions. They cannot answer your questions. The judges are going into this blind. We keep them in the dark for a reason. It's important to make it fair. That's why they're judges. So again, hit us up with your questions below. And I can't wait to see the images this year, guys. I can't wait. I hope it's an incredibly impossible situation for you, like it has been in the past for others.
Oh, thanks.
Okay. If there's no other questions, guys, thank you for coming on, judges. We will be reminding you, we will be counting this down to the hour when we get to the last day. Submit. Yes.
And come see us at Push in 2024. I'm so excited to go to you, Vicki. I'm so excited.
I'm excited. I haven't checked yet today because it's been a crazy day. But there were 18 seats last night left when I went to bed. 18 seats. That's it. And then we're sold out, guys.
And I'm giving away headshots for anybody that signs up underneath these. If you need a new
Yeah,
headshot,
I forgot about that. Yes, Carissa, if you hit up Carissa's affiliate link, she will do your headshots.
Nice.
It's because I need new headshots.
So, yeah, I mean, what do you got to lose other than you're going to have FOMO? And we will be together again, Carissa, in Oh my God, less than a week. I get there Wednesday. The kickoff is Thursday night at the cocktail party. So yeah, guys, it's going to be a lot. You're going to have FOMO. So you got to grab a seat before the alumni, the people that are there right now, are be like, wait a minute, I want more that's in 9 months. So good luck to everyone entering this year. Like I said, I'm here for questions. Post below, message, email, whatever. I look forward to seeing all your images. I look forward to watching the judging unfold as I do every year. And I'm just excited. This is year 11. It's a big year. Thank you, everyone.
Bye, friends.
Thank you. Bye.